Hello, hello. Welcome to tonight's live. We're going to give it a couple more moments for everybody else to join in. Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's live. Today is Sunday, September 8th, right? It's 8 p.m. right now, Eastern Standard Time, New York session time. We're going to go over a few market news for this upcoming week, and then we're going to jump on the charts and go through our futures. Futures, metals, indices, right? So indices on our futures broker. So first things first, let's jump on the actual market news, right? So what I use for market news, it's Forex Factory. Always use Forex Factory. For me, it's the easiest. And it's just, I'm just so used to using it that I haven't had a need to actually switch out of it. And they're all pretty much the same thing, right? Even though it's created for Forex, right? It's still the same thing. So for today, Sunday, September 8th, we have no red folder news throughout the Asian session. Monday, I have no red folder news at all for Monday. So probably not a day that I'm going to be trading anyways. I'll keep observing the market though. I'll watch to see like what's going to happen. Monday usually indicates like how the flow of the rest of the week is going to go. Tuesday, we do have red folder, right? We have GBP during the London session. And we have CAD about an hour and 20 minutes before the New York market open. Wednesday, we're looking at Wednesday. We see GBP during the London session. That's a red folder news. Also, 1 hour before New York session open, we have CPI, USD, 8:30 a.m. Thursday, I have, during the New York session, I have the Euro, right? That's about an hour and 15 minutes before the New York session open. Euro red folder news. And then 15 minutes after that, an hour before New York session open, we have PPI, USD, red folder news. Friday, we do not have any red folder news whatsoever. So take that as you will, right? That's going to be for Friday. All right, let's jump on the charts. Boom, boom, boom. Right, so I'm going to start off actually with the weekly time frame. I haven't logged into my actual trading accounts since Tuesday. I wasn't trading this week because it was NFP, so I was trying to stay out of it. It gets pretty crazy. But we're going to look at this on the weekly chart. Check this out. All-time high. My chart's 20,983. Your broker might be a little bit different, but that's what I have marked out here for my all-time high. On the weekly time frame, we did mark out this weekly fair value gap over here at about 18,208.75. Right? The market came, swept it, and they came right back up. This would have been a super clean entry right here at this fair value gap that became inverted. and then continuation to the upside on the 4 hour. How does it look like on the 1 hour? Let's check that out. On the 1 hour, for sure, another fair value gap. But was there a clear entry? Not really. But once it broke through here, yeah, once it broke through here at this 1 hour, that was on Wednesday, the 7th of August. Almost exactly a month ago, right? And then we broke through here, 8th of August, continuation to the upside. That was a confirmation for the weekly. On the weekly, so we just hit the weekly fair value gap. And we're doing a nice little continuation to the upside. Wild. Crazy. Shit's nuts. Right now we are sitting above another key level. I have these marked out. The white here is a point of interest. That level is 18363.50. We might actually... yeah, we might actually tap into this fair value gap one more time. And the continuation to the upside. So this daily fair value gap and then this weekly fair value gap have it tapped into and mitigated. We're going to keep these levels live because they are very strong levels. And the weekly level 2 is very, very strong. It might actually pull back into there one more time. Or it might actually just break through, close under. And then we'll use that as a point of entry. And then we could probably swing it because it's going to be weekly. We could probably hold on to it for quite a bit of time, right? So we're going to be looking at that. So remember this weekly fair value gap. Let's keep an eye on that again. I'm going to set an alert. Yeah, it's not exact on it. Let me just modify a little bit. And right here. This one too. All right, 18207. Prepare shorts. Oh yeah, the bears came to play, baby. The bears came to play. So we got to see how it reacts on that level. So you have this huge bearish engulfing candle on the weekly, completely demolished this bullish, fair value gap over here. So this bearish engulfing disrespected this bullish fair value gap. Now it's becoming inverted. This we can ignore, that we can ignore. We have bigger powers at play right now. And you can see over here, this area has been an imbalance zone. We might see price action come back into here and test it out again. It's a very important key level right here. So here we're going to set up another alert. We're looking for shorts here as well. That level is 18786.25. Let's check this out. Targeting there is a 1.1. Should take about like a month to get there. If we target this POC, that's a 2-to-1 ratio. Might get there in probably like the end of Q4. We'll keep an eye on that. Go down into the daily. Let's check this out. We had this level here, this fair value gap. This was a bearish fair value gap. It was a beautiful zone too. It was an extreme premium zone. So I was expecting price action to come back into here, tap it, and then continuation to the down, to the downtrend. But let's check this out. Let's check this out. Give me one quick second, guys. One second. Reloading here. Yeah, so I was expecting to come back over here, but it just didn't, right? So now we're looking left. The thing is that when you're looking at stuff in hindsight, you can always call it out. Be like, oh yeah, there was an order block right there, so that would have been the perfect entry. But when you're doing this live, you're actually looking for like the highest probability entry, right? So my highest probability entry was going to be here at an extreme premium at this 50% mark of the fair value gap. But you have order block right here, right? We're in hindsight, but I'm not a hindsight trader, right? I didn't catch that. And I'm not going to lie to you, be like, oh yeah, I entered right there. That's not happening. But in hindsight, this order block here would have been a nice little entry too. This is at an extreme premium zone as well. So if I would have drawn from the top here, which is all-time high, to the bottom here, which was about 17,345, right? Everything above this red is good to go. Now, the crazy thing is as well, you could have probably DCA'd. You could have probably done your entries at these two, at the 0.705 and the 0.08. I was going into this one. This is my highest probability, and I felt super comfortable with price action tapping into that and being rejected. I did not see this one. I did not see that overlap with the order block and this 0.705. If I would have seen that, that's two different confluences. I would have definitely, put a DCA there. I would have put in one order there, and then I would have put in my second order at the 0.8, or exactly that 50% mark of that fair value gap. But this one right here, this is clean, right? It went into that area right there. I respected this price action, the structure over here, and then continued to the downside. Entry would have been at 0.705, and then the stop loss would have been up here at the all-time high. I respected it completely perfect. Super, super clean. Cool. So bias, right, for NASDAQ. I'm bearish. I'm expecting more bearish momentum. We are bearish on the weekly, bearish on the daily. What could we also get into on the daily? Well, you have another fair value gap over here. There's going to be a point of interest, 19,247.75. We still have that weekly that's active, right? Where are you at? At 18,207. We could probably mark this one out too. Let me draw my fibs to make sure we're at an extreme premium. And we're kind of not. This fair value gap over here was a bullish one that became inverted. This one is close to the 0.62. And then this one's right between the 0.62 and the 0.5. It's above the equilibrium, but not in an extreme premium zone. It's not past the golden pocket. I don't really feel too comfortable on this one. We might actually just get a fake out, and this might just continue dumping. This is the zone that we really want to keep an eye on, right? That's a really high time zone, high time frame zone, which I want to focus on more. We'll wait to see tomorrow for Monday to see how it closes. Hopefully it closes a little bit closer here, which will bring us down, our price action down a little bit more, which would bring this into an actual premium zone. And then that'll be a nice little entry for continuation to the downtrend. And then we're also going to be observing this area here, the weekly fair value gap, for an entry after it collects liquidity. So it'll probably seek over here 17,743 and then revert upwards. When it comes upward, we're going to be looking for it to close above this weekly fair value gap. And then we're going to use that area there as an area of entry. Or while it's dumping, we're going to set a limit order here. So when it comes right back up and crosses through it, we'll catch that wave all the way up to here, which is 19,245.50. Let's mark that one out. Color that red. We're going to focus on that. We also have another fair value gap over here, which is the bullish one, and 19,331. Let's move on to gold. Gold. Remember I made this zone here. It's yellow because it was consolidating. So I wanted to see where price action was going to go. Right now, price action did go and broke through it on Monday 19 for that week. And price action has been above it as well for the week of the 26th of August. These are weekly time frame candles. Now we have a bullish one trying to form, but let's check it out. Right now it's still ranging, but now the range is just a little bit higher. Right? So it broke out the range just to go into another range. Right there. Cool part about it, you have this fair value gap over here. We did have it marked out, this fair value gap at the 50% mark. That's where we would have entered. And you can see it's been respected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So it really wants to take off. But at the same time, it's already tapped it 5 times. So that has no, yeah, it's got like no resistance left, right? I mean, no support, because it's a support zone. So it should just break right through it. So I would definitely look into this level here, 2494 or 2495. Round up a little bit for price action to break through that, and then continuation to the downside. All-time high here, 2570.14. Kind of choppy on the daily. 4 hour. Still choppy. Broke through here, broke back down. Yeah, it's really choppy. I'll probably trade on the lower time frames. Boom, 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 chop, chop, chop. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel comfortable trading this. Some of you guys might have a strategy to be able to trade this. I sure don't. So it is what it is, right? I want to wait for a more clear direction before I jump into this. Marked it yellow on the daily. It's consolidating. I don't feel comfortable trading it. I'm going to be looking at this zone here though, 2494. That zone is where I'm going to be looking for entries for short. I would want a candle to close underneath it, and that'll be my confirmation. And by the looks of it, since it tapped already into this zone here, this fair value gap, bullish fair value gap, it'll probably close as a fair value gap and then continuation downward. So probably something like this. Then tap back up and then continuation down. But we'll see what happens. Silver, we're moving on to silver now. Check out the weekly. Weekly keeps dying, right? So this is what I was expecting it to do. It did. Tapped into that. And I'm expecting it to follow this trend line down and continue bearish, right? Weekly is bearish, as you can see there. Daily is bearish as well. What do we see for entries? Ooh, just choked right there. What do you see for entries? Well, we had one little spot right here. This is a fair value gap, and it was also market structure shift. So this area right here, the 29.35, price action tapped into it twice and then dumped right after. So we're waiting for more opportunities. I don't have anything else pretty clean for us to join in. So we have to see how tomorrow closes up. 4 hour, what do we see on the 4 hour? We see over here this overlap. Bullish fair value gap, bearish fair value gap. Let's put it right there. If you can see that on my screen, I'll zoom in so you can see it a little bit better. The reason I chose this area like that is because you see this wick over here. That is the top of the fair value gap for this candle. And then this area here is the perfect overlap, taking into consideration the wicks of the previous and the candle afterwards. This is where I would probably enter because of this beautiful overlap. So it's a bullish fair value gap that's been disrespected and mitigated. So now it's a inverted fair value gap by this massive bearish engulfing candle. So I would use this area here. Set your alerts, 28.82. And then probably use this candle body here. Use the candle body right there. And then you can target 2 to 1. Or you can target this liquidity zone here. That's 28.055. Just to be safe. That's on the 4 hour. But if you look at it on the daily, where else can you target? On the daily, we already tapped into that. So we're looking into sweeping this wick right here. And then that's going to be a 3 to 1, 3.31 to 1. So take it as you will. This has already been tapped into, right? Disrespected. Next little wick, that's going to be our area of liquidity, sell side liquidity. That's going to be a 3.31 ratio. We're going to keep this active. Going to lock that. For gold, nothing there. Euro. What do we see for Euro? Euro dumped. Then it was losing momentum. Now it's gaining momentum. Now you're strong. Now we're bullish. We're bullish on the daily. Tapped into this fair value gap over here. This day was August 28th. We tapped into the liquidity here. Friday the 6th September, this past Friday. And you can see over here, we respected this bullish. We respected this bullish fair value gap here, which is at 1.10660. Swept liquidity, came back up. Continuation to the upside. This is on the daily. I'm looking for bullish entries. Don't really see them. Here's a bearish fair value gap. You can see there's wicks. Did not close above it. So then that's still valid. Then you have this. Doesn't count as a fair value gap. Kind of hard to distinguish this price action over here. So I'm going to look to the left, a little bit more to the left. I have this bullish fair value gap overlapping with this bearish fair value gap over here. This zone here is a very important key level. Point of interest, 1.11665. We're going to extend this out a little bit further. We're going to focus on that. We're going to set an alert on that. And then what I'm looking at is here as an entry, here as my stop loss, and then the bottom of this market structure as my take profit. That's a 4.53. I'm going to lock that in. Entry as at 1.11660. Stop loss over here, 1.11960. Right? And my take profit, 1.10330. 44.53 risk to reward ratio. And then this level here too, confluence, looking left, it's a bullish fair value gap, 50% mark. Very, very important level. So keep an eye on that. GBP, weekly, kill some of these, clean out the charts a little bit. All right, so look, on the weekly, we have not tapped into this fair value gap or this fair value gap here. But if we draw the fib, our best bet is going to be this one that's right over here. So we are going to set an alert right here. This one is going to be a super important zone for us. We're looking at about 1.2885. That's where we want to get in. Right there. But it is a weekly one, so this one might tap into it and continuation upward as well. Weekly is very strong. So set an alert for this one as well. We're looking at 1.3031. Go to daily. Yeah, it's still in our premium zone. Yeah, over here, 1.2908, which is right by the 1.2883. Let's focus on that one. That's overlapping with the 0.62. So this one, not so much, but definitely this one over here, 1.2908. Focus on that. Set your alerts on that as well. Gosh, my throat's so dry today. JPY, what do we see in JPY? JPY is pumping. They got tired of being, you know, a dead currency, dying currency. What do we see here? 0.5 is my equilibrium. Not great, to tell you the truth. But here's a fair value gap, continuation to the upside. This one's at 0.00699245. That's where I would be looking at on the lower time frame. We are on the daily time frame right now. Let's jump into the 4-hour. 4-hour right here. Check this out. Boom. 0.5, which is the equilibrium, is right there on this fair value gap here. So it's a pretty decent entry. 0.705 here is pretty good too, because you have a fair value gap that's been disrespected. Broke through it. But yeah, this one's a pretty decent level. 0.00699245, because it's right below the equilibrium, the 0.5, and still inside this fair value gap here. You might also want to enter at the 0.00693350, which is the 50% mark of this fair value gap over here. And that's pretty much it, guys. So that's what I'm looking at for this week coming up. Make sure to set your alerts on this. If you have any questions, hit us up in the Discord. You can get to the Discord by going to EZatrades.com/EZ. Discord is free. We have a lot of free guides, free indicators. If you want to do the pro version, we do have a special going on for pro as well. And it gets you the indicator, AI signals, and a lot more stuff as well. So thank you so much, everyone. I'll see you here, same time, same place next Sunday. Take care.